Yahushua Hashem HaKadosh. Divine honor to the apostles and elders, great milestone. Shalom to the IQ teaching his word throughout the four corners. And true sincerity. Back with another lesson. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I want to be edifying us to the elect. On the topic of this lesson. Alright, before I get into the topic, I keep forgetting. The true name of God is Yahweh, which means he is, or he exists. The name of his son, the son of God, his name is Yahweh Shai. Alright, which means he saves or he delivers. Alright, our people has been taught, a false name of Jesus, and it's just God and Jesus. That's not the names. The names that were given unto Moses, and further on down the line, the name that was given unto, the Son of God, when he was on the scene, with Mary and Joseph, was Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So you would say Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Those are the true names that we are supposed to, and that we are calling on in these last days, because Lord has woken us up to, basically woke us up from our slumber. All right. But with that being said, the topic of the lesson is going to how the Lord is hearing our cries. It's, answering our prayers. All right. By seeing the condition of the earth and how things get worse, month by month, and especially year by year. It's constantly getting worse. Just bringing it to current events, what was going on with the United States, Iran, and Israel. All right. Very major things of prophecy are coming to pass. Because scriptures talk about the least of the flock will draw the United States ultimately into, the war to end all wars. And it's starting now with the United States and Iran. And ultimately other nations will get involved, Russia and China. All right, just naming the big boy players. China, Russia, even America's allies will ultimately come against this place, because as it says in Revelation 17, the beast shall hate the whore, that the beast being NATO and EU. All right, but you see it now. All right, the Lord is answering our prayers. Okay, this is James chapter 5 and reading at 4. I'm starting at 1. It says, "Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." It says, weep and howl, you rich men. Not talking about Elon Musk, not talking about Bill Gates. Those are not the true rich men. The true rich men are the elites. All right, why does it say weep and howl? Because the miseries that's going to come upon this place. Because even though they're purposely, quote unquote, causing this war, all right, to ultimately usher in, their new world order, or they, because they benefit off of these wars, even though they think they're behind the scenes controlling everything. That's not the case. All right, it says your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. It says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Right? So why is their riches cankered and corrupted? It's because they got it by bloodshed, by raping and stealing. All right, from diverse nations. Number one being us. All right, everything they have gotten us by lies and robbery. All right, look what they did to Venezuela, complete robbery of their resources. And this is nothing new. All right, they always been doing this. All right, in times past. Look what they did to Gad. Lied and stole their land. All right, so it's just in their nature to, be a thief. Right, that's why it's corrupted. Okay, because the way you got it, the scripture say, "Woe unto the bloody city." All right, that bloody city is America, because America is just one big, city. Because what makes a city? All right, it's citizens. Okay, so this city, this great city, all right, has been built up on the blood of the Israelites. All right, it says, "Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days," and this is a very important priest. This is a very important sentence. Why does it say "ye have heaped treasures together for the last days"? Because in these last times, all right, when their kingdom gets destroyed, they ultimately go give all that shit up anyway. The gold, the silver, because these devils, they just keep it in a big ass vault. They're gonna give it all up. All right, it says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth." right? Going into talking about us, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of the Sabaoth. So the Lord is hearing our cries. All right. Now, don't think that the Lord is not hearing. And then when we're supplicating, begging unto Him, to shorten the days to judge, America. To shorten the days. That's what He's doing. All right. He says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and He doth not resist you." So going back to Esau, Edom. All right, they the ones that have been living, all right, in a pleasure. They the ones that have been killing, the just. Okay, it talks about that. When you go to Revelation, I believe that's 6 and 6 and 11. No, 9. Slakia. It says, "And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw another under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony which they held." So, you have men that have died, all right, for this truth. You saw them have killed, persecuted the men of the Lord. All right, it says, "And they cry with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, thou dost not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" But the Lord is going to avenge. But we are in that same spirit. All right, we know that we want the Lord to avenge us. All right, because of what this devil has been doing by killing the just. It's like, yeah, by killing the just. Okay, what is it? It's like, yeah. It's like James 5. It's 7. It says, "Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. And behold, the husbandman waited for the fruit of the earth, and had long patience." Also, who is that? That fruit. All right, the elect. Had long patience for it until he received the early and latter rain. Be also patient. Establish your hearts for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh, and it's drawing nigh. We don't have much time. We could be out here this year. All right, it's only February, and all this news is happening. We got blood moons, about to occur. We got, wars and rumors of wars. We have, pestilences. We got earthquakes in our first place. We have uproars of the people. All these are signs that were told to the disciples by Yahweh Shai, all right, Matthew 24, right before He returns, that we will see these things, and they're only going to increase as we get closer and closer. That's how we know it's drawing nigh, all right, because a couple months ago we weren't, really, the United States wasn't really attacking Iran, but now they're talking about even more information that came out last night, how they killed their supreme leader. All right, so we live in very high times, very urgent, times, red alert, all right, because prophecy, is, coming to pass in our lifetime, all right. This is not something that's going to happen in 20 years, 30 years, or even when we die. No, well, not even Michael say 20, 30 years. It's not going to happen, when we die, we got to come back. No, we in those times now. We're living in these days now, all right. Ezekiel 12 and starting at 20:21, it says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth?" Right, this is a quote, with Jake. They like to say that the day of the Lord is, not going to be in our lifetime, all right. But that doesn't mean not, even if it wasn't in your life, that does not mean seek the Lord. Like, the Lord can't judge you. Even if it wasn't in your lifetime, Lord can't kill your ass now. All right, but that's what the scriptures say. All right, because a sentence against an evil work is not done, speedily. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Our people continue on to commit wickedness. It says, tell them therefore, they don't have to die and come back, But we ain't finna get into that. But it says, tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I'll make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So, Lord's gonna make that proverb to cease. Because again, it will happen in your lifetime. You see that out. You have people online talking about, what is going on in the earth. Basically complaining and mourning about the situation of the condition of America, the condition of the earth. Talking about everybody's crazy, everybody's acting out. Alright. That's basically the Lord, man. It says, but saying to them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. Right, we're living in those days now. It says, for there shall be no more. And they really should have woke up dealing with that situation in 2020 with the C-19 when they shut down the earth. All right. And Esau Edom started giving out, jungle juice to our people first. That should have been the sign right there. All right. But here we are, 6 years down the line, and our people still bullshitting. All right. What more evidence do you need? All right, now you know that, Esau Edom, he's the devil. You have the EMP files. You got the situation with the C-19. They told you it was lies. All right, you have now these nations warring with each other. Those are just 3 examples. All right. You got Jake being called niggers in the middle of a speech. They don't like you, man. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision or flattering divination within the house of Israel. All right, no 5-year plan, no American dream. All right, this place is, through. Stop going to them churches and hearing that same tune. All right, they've been hearing the same thing for years. Nothing has changed. All right, now it's a high time to wake out of sleep. All right, because our salvation is nearer than when we believe. All right, there's no more trying to chase the dollar. There's no more trying to chase, all right, a vain vision, a vain dream of living it up here in America. All this shit is through. All right, they're talking about you need 200. That's 200. You need $2 million to retire. All right, but you go work till you 67, and by the time you 67, your body don't work how it used to. All right, this place is through. It says, for I am the Lord, Ezekiel 12:25. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. Right, and it is going to come to pass, all right, because we've been sighing and crying for all the abominations that has been done in the midst thereof. But our people that didn't want to seek the Lord, this day's not going to come to you it's not going to come to you in a positive, effect. All right, but to us, we will be giving praises. It says, it shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, right, in your lifetime, Israel, Jacob, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because we are the true, children of Israel. All right? We are the true Israelites, not them small hat, long nose, Goldilocks motherfuckers. It says, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith the Lord Yahweh. Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came to me, saying, son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, right, talking shit, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesied of the times that are far off. So, I've been hearing that, what he's talking about, I've been hearing about the day of the Lord coming back. All right. That don't mean don't seek him, though. All right. It says, therefore say unto them, thus said the Lord Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, said the Lord Yahweh. All right. We going to be giving praises. All right, when shit really does hit the fan, when the EMP goes off, and ain't no goddamn power. All right. And then shall the little prophet have it among them. All right. These nations are actively shooting, ballistic missiles at each other, and Jake still asleep. All right, it's high time. It's always been high time, but now it's higher time. It's higher time. Now shit. We lit through the spirit and probably out about Shemal Shai. All right, just a matter of months, and we out this bitch. You know, with that alone, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Yekawadash, and the bonus of the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the I can teach this word. Got the four corners and truth sincerity, man, was out there, shalom.